What is up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about the number one thing that I would recommend that you don't do while doing body beast, because it will absolutely, I wouldn't say destroy your results, but it will definitely have a huge impact. And by not doing this is how I think I get such amazing results every single time I do this amazing program.
Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind, this my prime. Let me tell him one time, I've been on the grind, and this my prime. Yeah, sorry for the wait, didn't think I'd come up, y'all just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting on the river with an ace.
All right, guys, so I want to talk about this because I hear it all the time when guys say, I've done body beast so many times and I can finally just basically go in the gym and just do the moves and I don't have to watch the video. And that's great. And there is times if I go on vacation, that comes in really handy, knowing the program like on the back of your hand. That's awesome. And that is nice because I'll be honest, I'd be curious to know if I pretty much memorized body beast, because I've been doing body beast literally since it's been released. So well over 10 years. And some people might be like, whoa, you never want to try anything else? But it's like, why? I get results every single time and it works and it's working again. So it's like, I enjoy it, obviously. I like weightlifting. They're all very old school moves. It's not nothing new, really. And I just always enjoyed weightlifting. I like benching, I like curling. Who doesn't? I like doing legs. It's literally the perfect program for me because I do not like cardio. But anyways, I just want to talk about this one thing because, like I said, I hear it all the time from guys that do body beast over and over, and then they think that they can just get away with not having the program on. And while I might have memorized the program, and I might be able to do that too, I don't, because the rest times that he has laid out are extremely important to follow if you guys are serious about getting those next level results. Is it okay to do if you're not really worried too much about getting crazy awesome results and losing fat really fast, or if you're comfortable where you're at and you're just chilling out and you're good and you're content with where you're at with your fitness? Like, that's fine. But if you guys are like seriously trying to lose weight really fast or really get your results to that next level, then this is really important that you stick to the rest times that he has on there. Now, when you're going through a set, say you got 3 sets of 8, 12, and 15 reps. Between each of those sets is when I'm talking about not pausing the program. Now, after you get done with those 3 sets, then, you know, obviously if you need to pause it, do it, because sometimes it just takes longer to get the weights around and all that, but try not to. For me personally, what I try to do is I know the program so well now, I pretty much know what's coming, so I'm very like on the ball when it comes to like just getting my weights lined up that I know I'm gonna use, and then they're just ready to go. So I don't really typically ever have to pause the program anymore. Obviously at the beginning, when you're learning the program, you're not gonna know what moves next. So it's a bit more challenging. So you might have to pause the program at the beginning, but once you start getting the hang of everything and you start remembering what moves are next, it gets to be more like second nature. Like, you just know what weights you're gonna need, you know what moves coming up. You're like, okay, I did 30s last time, this time I'm gonna do 35s. Yeah, so it's not so bad once you've been doing the program for a while. But like I said, one thing that I don't recommend doing is just not following the program and just walking in the gym and just being like, I know what's next. The reason why you have to have the video play is because, unless you got a stopwatch, but even if you had a stopwatch and you timed yourself, are you seriously gonna remember how many seconds you have for a break during each set? I wouldn't. I know I would not remember any of that. Yeah, that's why it's important to play the program while you're doing it. I would not recommend going in the gym and just winging it, knowing what moves you're doing. Yeah, you're doing the same moves he's doing, but are you really taking the right rest times? Because you got to remember that those rest times that he has laid out between each move is like what makes the program as effective as it is. Like, a force set wouldn't be a force set if you like took a minute break between each lift, or a progressive set. You know what I mean? Like, it would no longer be a progressive set. It's nothing. You're just moving around weights. It's the breaks between each move that make this, like I said, this program's so effective and makes those types of sets what they are. So I would not recommend just walking in the gym and just winging it and then just doing your thing and just doing the moves without timing yourself, at least. If you're gonna do that approach, that's fine. Maybe you just want that freedom and just like to go in the gym and whatever. But if you are, just remember what those sets are. At least do that. What a progressive set is, you're gonna know that there's no breaks between. Like, you gotta remember that stuff. Okay, I'm doing curls right now, and I know that he does a progressive set in this move. There's no breaks. If you can remember like all that type of stuff and you wanna just not have to worry about playing the program off your phone or the TV or whatever, because maybe you're at a gym, then that's fine. But you just gotta be very mindful of what type of set it is that you're doing or that he's doing in the program, and make sure that you're actually doing what you're supposed to do during that set. You literally have to time yourself. So obviously there's probably a clock somewhere in the gym or wherever, at home or whatever. Just make sure that you're knowing how long your rest time should be. Because I, in the past, had been super guilty of like pausing the program constantly as I'm going through it. And one thing that I've noticed is that the intensity is significantly less when I constantly pause the program. I'm not drenched in sweat. My pump is crap. I barely get a pump. And it's not a good workout. It's just not compared to when you don't pause it. When I don't pause it and I have my weights lined out and everything is where it needs to be, and it's like second nature. Like I said, you'll have to work to that. But when I can go through the whole workout and I don't have to pause anything, holy shit, that workout is bomb. That is what I'm talking about. That is what you have to achieve, and that is how I get my results. That is the secret sauce, guys. You can't keep pausing the damn program and expect to get really awesome, crazy good results, because if you guys take this tip right now and tomorrow, do your workout with very minimal pausing. Like I said, if you have to pause when you're doing, say, like deadlifts, like I still do pause. I don't like never not pause the program, because when you're doing deadlifts, I do my sets, right? I don't pause in between each of the 8, 12, and 15 reps. But like I said, if I have to pause the program after those 3 sets are over with to move things around, like sometimes I have to, because they're already done. And when you start to lift heavier weight, you're gonna take longer than they do to go through those reps because you're lifting heavier. So especially during deadlift, chest press, legs, all that stuff, sometimes, yeah, it's okay to hit pause, but just don't make it a habit to do it if you don't need to. Try to keep up with the program. Their tempo that they do in this program is actually a very good tempo, and I would recommend trying, but don't get injured trying to keep up doing really heavy weights, trying to keep up with their tempo, because I don't think that's a good idea either, because you will absolutely get injured if you try to do that. So do what's right for you. Moral of the story is, guys, just try to be very minimal with your pausing of the program. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys in this video. I'm feeling frickin'-tastic. My jeans are really getting loose. Right now, I'm literally only alternating between 2 pairs of jeans, guys. Not cool for work, because I refused to buy bigger size jeans because that's just getting comfortable to this body that I've developed in the last year, and I don't want to do that. I have clothes that fit me to when I was where I wanted to be, and I don't want to like cater to being overweight, you know what I mean? So it just adds accountability too, honestly. I think that it's helped me a lot, because it's really getting irritating to have to do laundry every other day, which really freaking sucks. So that's been like a super huge inconvenience. Obviously my wife helps me out a lot with that, but yeah, not cool. But I'm excited. I'm actually gonna go in my closet over the weekend, this weekend, and go through some of my old jeans and see if I can fit in any of them. So that's exciting. Hopefully I can fit into some, but yeah, I'm super jacked up about just losing all this weight, guys. When I feel this good, every single time I lose the weight, it's like, why the hell did you let this feeling go? What happened? Obviously, we know why. We're all gonna have our own reason. Obviously, I dealt with some of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with in my entire life, which was losing our twins last year and going through infertility and just all the doctor's appointments. Just, it's mentally draining having to go through all that. Obviously, I don't know if you guys can relate with that, but we tried 6 years. I talk about this a lot in every video, but I just want to make it very known as to why I guess you could say I let myself go. I'm human. It happens. You just gotta focus on the future and just not worry about it. And just accept the fact that, hey, shit happens and learn from it. Should something happen like that again, or God forbid, I would definitely go about things differently. I realize now that just eating my feelings and just not caring just made everything worse, honestly. It really did. If I could have felt the way I do now while I was going through everything that I was going through, I think that, honestly, I would have been just a better version of myself to be there for, obviously, my wife, and just going through everything. And just everything is better when you're in shape and you feel good. It's really hard to think that way, obviously, in the moment, when all you want to do is just eat shit. That's just how it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's just it's a out from your feelings that you're feeling currently, and it's just an escape. It lasts only, a couple minutes, guys, to scarf down a burger, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so anyways, so I'm just excited as hell, guys. I can't believe how fast I'm losing the weight. I'm actually losing the weight faster than I've ever lost weight ever in any transformation. I know you guys have been with me for a while, for those of you that have been following me for the last couple of years, but I had a lot of crap happen. I've had some motocross injuries. I've had some just stupid injuries. I broke my ankle. Yeah, there's a huge list of stuff that happened. So a lot of ups and downs, a lot of transformations. But I hope and I'm praying that this is going to be the last time I ever let myself go. And you know what? It will be the last time. I'm going to go into it with that attitude. It will be the last time that I ever have to do this again with you guys. Because I'm hoping that if I could just stick with it this time and maintain my results, not get injured, and not fall into that trap of emotional eating and all that good stuff, I'm really excited to get back to where I was and then go beyond that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to do it. And you guys are going to be first witnesses to all this stuff. I'm going to try to share as much as I can along the way and just share with you guys my struggles and all that stuff. Because I feel like last time I did a transformation when I broke my ankle, like the really bad one. I've had other ones outside of that, a little bit more minor injuries, but when I broke my ankle, obviously was the worst before this I've ever been. I would say with where I am now is definitely the worst I've ever gotten, ever, even when I broke my ankle, which is unfortunate. But when I broke my ankle, I think I was around 215-ish, maybe 217. And this time I got up to 221.2. This time I'm losing the weight faster than I did before, which is freaking awesome. I think I'm gonna be losing well over 30 pounds in 2 months. And last time I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. And I'm already gonna be surpassing the 30-pound loss in the first 2 months. That's insane. I'm like a month ahead than I was before. And the things that I'm doing now are the things that I did leading up to the competitions in the past. So that's cool. Excited to share more of those details with you guys as the weeks come, but stay tuned for just all the things that I can possibly share with you guys. But yeah, I'm feeling great. Okay. Crazy. Consistency, guys, is key. I cannot wait to see where I'll be at the end of week 8. If that's crazy to even say that. One more week and it's been, wow, yeah, 8 weeks. So stay tuned next week for that. I plan to do all my measurements and share with you guys like where I came from at the very beginning of the 8 weeks. Until the next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.